Greetings and congratulations to the 8th grade. As we always say, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And you folks are finishing your 8th grade year under very challenging circumstances, and we're really proud of what you've accomplished. We now begin the traditional end of the year reflection for 8th graders, and this year we have a couple different options for you. So let's see what's in store. This year there are 2 essential questions. You may choose one of these. Number 1, middle school is a time of learning, growth, and transformation. This year, the COVID-19 pandemic has severely disrupted our middle school experience. Reflecting on your middle level career from the perspective of our current situation, how has this experience impacted you and your outlook? What have you realized? Or, number 2, you may be tired of thinking about the pandemic and you would like to reflect on your entire experience. This includes social, family, personal, and educational growth. You might think of one person or time that you want to focus on, or you might think about the entire experience. Thinking over the last 4 years, what lessons have you learned? Who was most important to help you become who you are today? How and why? Where are you headed? And how did you prepare yourself to get there? And how have you changed? As you consider these 2 questions, we have a recommended project timeline. In week 1, you'll decide which project option you're going to do, brainstorm ideas, and complete a brainstorming survey. In week number 2, you'll plan and organize your writing, draft a written response, and submit your rough draft for feedback. In week number 3, you'll work on the project, you'll revise, and submit your revised project and update by Friday, June 5th. And in week 4, you'll complete your final edits, and you will practice your presentation, and perhaps give your presentation, although that will be optional. So here are the options. You have your traditional 8th grade graduation speech. There's a reflective slideshow. There's also a creative writing or narrative option. And then we've given you several different creative options, including visual art, a short film, a playlist reflection, or a podcast. So for your speech, if you'll notice, we've included a little planning process where you review your essential questions, you brainstorm, you plan your project, you edit and rehearse, and then you present. Notice that each of the steps in the planning process, the graphic at the bottom of the presentation, have links. Those links go to documents and information that will help you guide you through the writing process. Here we also have, there's an assessment tool that we've used in the past to evaluate speeches, but you can also see there are 4 examples of speeches for you to read through and to help you identify the important elements of a successful speech. You could also do a slideshow, and here again you answer an essential question, and we've provided you with a template. Your slideshow should be at least 5 slides and explore how you've changed through your middle school experience. There's a narrative option, and again we give you some ideas here. You must address one of the essential questions. But we've also given you some examples from a New York Times narrative contest where students wrote personal narrative essays, and if you click on the link you can read some of the winning essays. This year we've also included some creative options. Again, you need to follow the same process, and for some of the creative projects you will need to include a short process paper, which is 250 words or less, explaining what inspired you and how you created your project. If you click on this link, that will give you a graphic organizer, and for those of you wondering, 250 words is less than a page. So again, here are the criteria for the process paper. You can do a visual art piece. This is an example from a graduate of the Rhode Island School of Design who created a visual art piece, and then obviously you would have to include a process paper. You could also do a playlist reflection where you put together an album of 5 to 12 songs that have had big impact on your middle school experience. And when you include the list of songs, you want to create a short reflection on how each song addresses one of the essential questions. Now for this project, you would not have to do a process paper since you're already creating summaries of each song. Here are the steps to complete the playlist reflection project. You could also do a short film. You could do a documentary or a fictional film that addresses one of the essential questions, and looks at your experiences and struggles growing in middle school. It can be abstract, fictional, or whatever you think of that meaningfully shares your experiences, ideas, and thoughts. Again, this one would include a process paper. And finally, you can do a podcast. Your podcast, again, would answer one of the essential questions. There's a graphic organizer provided for you here, and then you can record and submit it using Vocaroo. Now, for the podcast, you would not have to do a process paper because you've already written the script. So again, you have a couple different options this year. This is a traditional experience that all 8th graders at Main Street Middle School have completed, and we really want to hear how you've learned, how you've grown, and how you've reflected on that experience as you cross the finish line and make your way to high school. Congratulations to all of you. We look forward to this process, and we look forward to working with you to have a successful completion to the 8th grade year.